EU and Iran kick off intensive weeks of talks to keep the nuclear deal in place, even as the U.S. imposes new sanctions. One America's Kendra Sitton has our report.
Iran signals a good start to a round of talks with European powers focused on preserving the nuclear deal.
We are on the right track. Now, a lot depends on what we can do within the next few weeks.
Europe vowed to keep the deal alive in the first day of discussions on Tuesday, but cannot make the guarantees of oil purchases and investments Iran is looking for. With the future of sanctions unknown, some companies may pull out of Iran on their own, lessening the country's incentive to work to preserve the deal. Europe says it is serious about maintaining banking transactions and purchasing Iranian oil and gas products over the coming weeks as a new deal is negotiated.
We want to hear what expectations there are in Iran, how the sanctions the United States has imposed and will impose can be counterbalanced. We will find ways where Iran can internally stand to the nuclear deal.
However, the EU may be risking coming under U.S. sanctions if they continue doing business with Iran. As the EU pursues a diplomatic approach to Iran, the U.S. announced a new round of sanctions, taking a more direct approach with the Middle Eastern country. When President Trump pulled out of the deal last week, he promised an economic pressure campaign to go back in place. The Treasury Department announced Tuesday it was sanctioning assets of Iranian banking officials over money funneled to Hezbollah. Whether the EU can provide enough financial incentives to mitigate the damage of U.S. sanctions will likely determine whether Iran will stay in the deal.
We are hopeful that the Europeans will be able to compensate for the U.S. withdrawal and that they will be able to honor the commitments. But if this cannot be done, then we have already said that we are ready with the technical capacity to take our nuclear program to a level stronger than before.
At the U.S. Embassy opening in Jerusalem, Vice President Mike Pence promised Iran will never gain nuclear capabilities, but it is unclear how the U.S. can guarantee that amid the fallout of leaving the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action. Many Republicans critique the deal as a concession to Iran that blocked it from nuclear armament, but allowed it to arm proxy groups throughout the region. The EU says it is still raising those issues in negotiations.
We have no illusions about Iran's disruptive behavior, but we think we can tackle those in other ways outside the JCPOA.
Meanwhile, Russia has also offered to negotiate parts of the deal.
Real pressure is going to be put on Iran's partners, and they are already being pressured. Ultimatum demands to stop trade with Iran are being put forward. One thing is clear: by withdrawing from the JCPOA, the U.S. has lost all their rights regarding this document.
As Russia seeks greater influence in the Middle East, many of its interests line up with Iran. Iran may choose to further align with Russia and China if this round of talks with the EU falls through. Kendra Sitton, One American News.
We can use your help. Call your cable provider and kindly demand that One American News is added to your lineup. Call today.